Ladies and gentlemen, the point I would like to make today is if you want to develop something, create a problem. If you look at it, our whole society is built around avoiding problems. If you look at our educational system, it's about preventing failures instead of dealing with failures. And I would like to take you on a journey in which I developed myself and many other things by creating a problem that did not exist before. And I would like to take you back to 2002, when my life was about two things. One was music. I was DJ, I was working in a music venue, I had my own radio show, I loved music. And the other thing, in my life it was important to be as cool as possible. And I gotta tell you, I was pretty good at that. So I had a cool car, I had a cool job, I had cool friends, I even had a cool dog. And my sister said at some point to me, Ronald, your life is really cool, huh? I said, yeah, it's really cool, yeah. And she said, yeah, but it's actually so cool that it's ice cold. And I did not like to hear that, but I knew she had a point. Until then, my longest romantic relationship had lasted for no longer than 5 months. I ran away all the time. And she said, if you really go for it, if you take a stand for something, you can achieve way more than you think. And I got curious. And we had conversations, I read books, I followed some courses, and I realized that this whole coolness was basically just a mask to not face my own fear of failure. And we got on and she said, if you take on something if you really take a stand for it, you can make the impossible possible. Now, for somebody who's trying to be cool, that's quite a boring statement. But again, I got curious. She said, if you take something that is out of your comfort zone, you get to face your own beliefs of your own talent, of your own potential. And I started to thinking, okay, she said you can make the impossible possible. What in my world of music is impossible? And then I thought about deaf people. If I could get deaf people go nuts about music, that's pretty impossible. But at the same time, I got this feeling in my stomach like, wow, this is great, I should do this. So I shared this with some friends in my environment, and they all said, a music event for deaf people? That's so bizarre, let's do it. All right, but I did not know any deaf people. I thought they were all living in one big house in the middle of the country. And I looked on the internet and sent out some emails, and the first reaction I got back was, who are you to help us? We're not waiting for the next hearing person who thinks what's right for us. We have our own events, we have our own parties, thank you. And I was like, whoa. Until then, nobody ever accused me from helping somebody else. I was way too cool for that. But I was also curious where this reaction was coming from. And then I had lesson number one. Deaf people, as well as many other disabled people, are quite fed up with hearing persons who think, hey, let's help them. Because you almost automatically put them in a victim role. And they don't consider themselves as victims. Amy Mullins once had this amazing TED talk in which she said, the biggest limitation disabled people have is the fact that we call them disabled people. But I emailed back to this guy and said, listen, don't worry, I don't want to help you. I just want to organize a great event. I want to develop something. And you might as well help me, maybe. And they said, okay, great event. We're interested in that as well. So we sat together and we started looking at what they could do. Well, they cannot hear, but they could smell, they could taste, they could see, and they could touch. And if you look at music, music is basically an emotion translated into sounds and noises. So we thought, okay, most deaf people cannot get the melody of the music, but they can get the emotion. We just need to stimulate the other senses based on that emotion. And with smell and sense, you can evoke emotions. Now, I could speak about that for hours, but I rather practice what I preach, so I would like you to experience something. And what you will see is a video of how it will work. You will smell ginger to spice it up a bit. You will hear the noises. You also will get a powerful passion fruit pie with a ginger chili and some exploding sugar. And you got comfortable seats in which you probably will blown away. Now, let's go for that.
Light reflects have Sin City in Paradiso, which is very special for us as it is one of the most known pop music venues in the Netherlands. It's a very beautiful building, very intimate, lots of ambience. We'll have a very special lineup, good musicians, aroma jockey that will spread senses, we'll have a food jockey that has food sensations, the vibrating dance floor, sign dancers who translate the lyrics in sign language on stage, video jockeys and text jockeys who worked on the subtitling, and a lot of little small things that all tickle and stimulate all senses. It's gonna be a blast tonight.
Darling, I can give you what you want is love. So save our soul.
The essence of this event was that we made something impossible possible, or as we call it, possibilizing. Possibilizing for us is to think and act in possibilities. And there's really no situation, how bad or sad or whatever circumstance, you cannot think for something that is possible. Our first event was in 2003. So after that succeeded, we had to think of a new impossibility to possibilize, which would then be to bring the concept all over the world. Now, we have been all over in Europe, and in London, in Berlin, in Madrid, in Brussels, Finland. But we have also been in Miami, Jamaica, Mexico. We've been in Brazil, in Sao Paulo, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Sydney, Auckland. Only Asia is still coming up, so if any one of you is interested in taking that on, please let me know. And one other thing that we like to take on is to make events more accessible for disabled people, but then in such a way that that the regular audience can enjoy as well. For example, a wheelchair toilet that is such an art piece that events want to book just that art piece and then by accident make the event accessible as well. But to round it up, I'm not the same person anymore. I can still be cool every now and then, but there is more possible in life for me as well. But what I like to say mostly is that whenever you face a problem, an obstacle, a limitation, a restriction, whatever boring word you give to it, don't run away, because it might just be the jumping board that can change your life or the life of many other people. Thank you.